let's talk about white women wearing bonnets and what that has to do with an 18th century law in Louisiana. The Spanish took over the Louisiana colony in 1763, and at that time, there was already an established community of free Black people, or free people of color, and they were called des gens de couleur libre. Because this community of people were, in effect, free, they were not governed by the laws that were governing the enslaved populace in Louisiana, but they still didn't have all the rights and freedoms that the regular white people had. So with this degree of freedom, the freed Black women would wear their hair in these beautiful, elaborate kind of designs, and they would decorate their hair with gems, with feathers, with anything they could find to adorn their hair and make it look really gorgeous and beautiful. In a tale as old as time, this obviously pissed off the white women in Louisiana. They began to get increasingly jealous as their men, the white men, became more attracted to these free Black women. And Louisiana had a lot of super interesting racial institutions at this time, one of them being plaquage, which was the system of like de facto marriage between white people in the cities and then free women of color. And also at this time, there was something called quadroon balls, whereby freed women of color would go to these balls and these white men would come to the balls and kind of pick a woman to marry, a plaquage. So the white women were getting increasingly pissed off, so they solicited the help of the governor of Louisiana at the time and demanded that he institute some sort of law preventing this beautiful display of the Black women's hair. So at the behest of these white women, the governor of Louisiana in 1786 proclaimed that all Black women, whether freed or not, had to wear their hair in a handkerchief or a headscarf. This was called the Tignon law, and the point of this was to designate Black women, again, whether free or not, as a separate class entirely from white women. Generally speaking, the Black women did adhere to this law in Louisiana.
The Tignon law should not be an excuse to exclude white women from wearing bonnets. The Tignon law was made to control and not to unify or exclude. It had nothing to do with white women, but everything to try to divide us. But I'm going to let her keep going.
Like practice among white women, and then white women began wearing these headscarves. So the white women were mad that the freed women of color were wearing their hair out in these beautiful styles, so they demanded that the law oppress them and force them to wear scarves. The Black women wore these scarves, were again regarded as incredibly beautiful and innovative, and then the white women copied. So I know you know that this is a tale as old as time. When Black women or women of color do something, it's described as ghetto, disgusting, out of style by like the larger populace, by white people. But then white people will often come in and appropriate that style and turn it into something cool and fashionable. We get this with hair bonnets, right? Black women have been covering their hair for obviously centuries, and they wear bonnets at night to protect their hair while they sleep. There's been a lot of discussion and critique over the years of Black women wearing their bonnets out or even wearing them at home. It's often been derided as ghetto, as unattractive, as sloppy, as lazy. But you've seen on TikTok, there's been a slow uptick in white women wearing bonnets to bed and then doing, guess what's under my bonnet on TikTok. It was initially deemed as, again, ghetto, disgusting, lazy, has become this like sign of white women taking care of their hair. And it's like cute and quirky when they do it in their TikToks.
Using the Tignon law to tell my non-Black sisters they can wear bonnets is just creating a new form of division from an old oppression. We should not repeat from the past. Some people weaponize history without understanding it. That law was meant to oppress and used to exclude. So why are we doing it now? That's just a form of us being divided, right? So we should stop it. And that posting that picture of Monique, she was saying that Black people should be coming out like that, not white people, y'all. Remember, it's haircare, not race. Link is in the bio.